Second of the second round matches in this Rest of the World qualifiers is going to be a high-flying battle between Angelico of South Africa and Flash Morgan Webster of Wales.
Well, Wales versus South Africa. When do you see that in any World Cup aside from wrestling? This is a key opportunity for both men. Who's going to take it?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is set for one fall. This is a second round qualifying match in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Introducing first, representing Wales from a town called Malice. Winning tonight, £153, Flash Morgan Webster!
Flash Morgan Webster with an impressive win over the veteran RJ Singh of India in the first round. Webster now finds himself just one victory short of heading to the World Cup finals. The man he has to overcome, though, one of the greatest luchadors in the world, Angelico.
The South African dream, if you will, baby. Angelico. What an athlete. But Flash Morgan Webster, no slouch himself. Only one spot left in those finals.
And opponents, representing South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, winning tonight, 92 kilos, Angelico!
Angelico overcame Icarus in the first round. Icarus from Hungary, Angelico from Johannesburg in South Africa. Talked about his success earlier in AAA and in Lucha Underground. Saw a lot of that Lucha style come out in that first round match. Can Angelico continue that winning streak here in the second round against Webster?
Well, both these men have some serious swagger. Angelico doing it on the outside of the ring, Flash Morgan Webster doing it on the inside. But sooner or later, both men will be inside that squared circle, and then it's on. Only one spot left, as I said before.
Angelico looks ready. Morgan Webster looks confident as well. This one really could be something great in the second round here. We have 15 men who have qualified for the finals of the first Pro Wrestling World Cup. There is one spot and one spot only left. It will be taken either by Flash Morgan Webster of Wales or Angelico of South Africa. Let us know who you think is going to win. The hashtag, as always, Pro Wrestling World Cup.
The bell has sounded, and here comes Webster.
Webster straight out of the gates. Webster, I think, is maybe going to head to the top. Angelico got taken by surprise. Webster could end it early here. Webster, 450. No one there. Angelico got out of the way. Webster rolled through. Webster's going to leap over the top, and he takes out Angelico. Flash Morgan Webster is not messing around here.
Webster trying to make short work of Angelico. Gives him the two fingers. That's what he thinks of his South African opponent, the Welshman, on fire early on. Could this be the shortest match in the World Cup so far?
Well, it might be if Angelico doesn't find a way here. He's got to get his head back in the game. He's been taken out early by this flurry of offense from Webster.
We've got him up against that ring post.
Shot from Webster to Angelico. And you see Angelico is just walking around the ring trying to escape from this onslaught at the moment.
Webster so dogged, so determined though. What it would mean to him to represent Wales with pride in the Pro Wrestling World Cup finals. It would mean the world. The same goes for Angelico and South Africa though.
Forearm into the face of Angelico from Webster, another one.
Right in front of us here. Best seat in the house.
Referee has a count on here. What would happen if we had a double count out in the second round? Maybe we've had only 15 men in the last 16. We're up to a 4 count instead. Oh, right face first. You hear that? Did you hear that on the ring apron? Referee is up to a count of 5, and Angelico rolling back in and out to stop and restart the count. Angelico quite happy now he's got the upper hand to continue this outside the ring.
Well, he could beat down Webster, slide back into that ring, and let his opponent be counted out. He looks like he's got other things on his mind.
Angelico has that look in his eyes, like he wants to take to the skies. Angelico will go to the ropes. Webster's already done this. Angelico! Got him enough. Took him down. Angelico takes out Morgan Webster.
He almost landed in the front row there. Scratch that, the third.
Angelico is hurt in here though. You see him holding his lower back. That's from that assault from Webster right at the beginning of the match. Angelico has only just found his footing here, but he's done so quite effectively. And now he's going to where he's most comfortable in the whole world, the top floor. Double foot stomp from Angelico.
Right to the back of Flash Morgan Webster, and he went down hard.
Covering a 2 count, right shoulder up from Flash Morgan Webster.
Still in it though. Both these men with incredible agility to dive over that top rope. What happens next is vitally important and dictates who goes to the Pro Wrestling World Cup finals. There can only be one, Wales or South Africa.
Angelico lining this up, the fall of the Angels maybe. That's what he's looking for here, he's trying to get Webster in position. Webster wriggles his way free. Webster instead picks him up on his shoulders, maybe going for that Britpop drop. Slides underneath to Webster. It's a high bar instead of headbutt into the chest. That was unorthodox.
Nearly knocked himself out.
Now maybe. But we see the Britpop drop. Yes, we do.
Just about got that one.
Yeah, back of the head of Angelico, right into the knee of Webster. Still only good for 2. But Webster is getting closer to that elusive 3 count. And a ticket to the most talked about tournament in the wrestling world.
How good must it feel to be Travis Banks right now? Already, almost a 3 count there, but already Banks securing his space in the finals.
Looking at the finals bracket here, draw of course already made as a neck breaker from Webster. The winner of this one, get this, will face King Ricochet in the last 16, Milton Keynes, 23rd of August.
Mark it in your calendar, you do not want to miss that one.
Tickets still available, by the way, for that round of 16 and for the quarters in Manchester, the semis and final in Newcastle, happening August 23rd to 26th. Tickets at ProWrestlingWorldCup.com. Get yours now.
Along these qualifiers for all the different nationalities, they've been special, but it all boils down to those finals.
Angelico sent to the ropes by Webster here. Angelico puts the brakes on. Webster's going to charge in, and Angelico, I think, wanted him to do that. Got the boot up. Oh, sweeps underneath. There's a Pele kick from Angelico.
And it's the extension of the leg, the size difference here. Angelico has
got enough here.
Almost thought that was it, but Angelico has the size advantage, certainly in height.
Rattled the brains of Webster, but Webster had enough consciousness left to find a way to kick out. Perhaps instinct alone guiding him there.
Angelico can't worry about what this crowd in Newcastle have to say. Show support towards Flash Morgan Webster. He has to focus on putting the Welshman away. Angelico, that is.
Webster signing defiance there, the 2 fingers to Angelico, but Angelico is responding with another vicious kick.
He says that's all. Angelico believes that he's about to stamp his ticket into the Pro Wrestling World Cup finals.
See, every time he gets a chance, he tries again for that fall with the Angels. He's beaten so many of the world's best with that. And then Webster went for that same trick again he tried earlier where he got the headbutt. Angelico not falling for it this time. Again, he's going to try. Absolutely determined to hit that fall with the Angels, and he might this time.
He hits that buckle bomb.
Webster.
It's all over.
Webster is nowhere near. Oh, hang on. Counter. What a counter. What a counter from Webster. Angelico face first into the turnbuckle. Webster takes a run-up, forearm smash. He's going to take another run-up here. Here comes Wales. It's Webster again. This time a high knee into the jaw.
Angelico perched on that top turnbuckle. The war cry from Webster.
Webster, can he hit maybe a Hurricane Rana here? Yes, he does. Flash Morgan Webster.
He's not finished.
Headed to the top. We've seen Webster go to the top so often in his career. He's doing it again here. Webster, senton bomb right into the small of the back of Angelico. Are Wales going to the World Cup finals? Not yet.
Not quite. No wasted motion.
Strangler. This is how he advanced against Singh, the Strangler from Webster. Angelico trying to get to the ropes. He's not quite there. Will he pass out before he gets there?
Right back on the attack. So impressive from Flash Morgan Webster.
He's in the ropes.
There we go. Barely. So lucky for Angelico that he was close to those ropes.
I'm not sure if Webster had that locked in quite as hard as he might have wanted to. Remember, RJ Singh tapped out almost immediately when it was finally locked in. I'm sure pretty much anyone would do. A vicious submission hold is the Strangler.
If you're even conscious enough to tap out, that is the question.
Slaps across the face of Angelico from Webster. His forearms again. Elbow smashing into the face of Angelico. Again, King Ricochet looking on somewhere, watching this. Who would he rather face? I have no idea. Oh my! There might not be much left to face of Flash Morgan Webster after
he's going
that.
for it again. Angelico.
The fall of the Angels. He's trying it for goodness knows what time, what attempt number this is. This year, or this match rather. The cover though. Oh, counter from Webster. Counter into a sunset flip. And he got him. Angelico wins it.
Advancing to the finals of the World Cup in August, Angelico!
We now know the identity of all 16 men in the World Cup finals. There was one more train leaving the station, and that train was caught by South Africa's Angelico.
Angelico gets the job done. Webster despondent. He has his legs crossed in the middle of the ring. But even Webster must give it up for Angelico. That was one hell of a performance.
Angelico joins Travis Banks and representatives from 7 other countries. We are down. We had 64 when we started. We are down to 16 now. And between the 23rd and the 26th of August, we will get down to one and only one winner of the Pro Wrestling World Cup from Newcastle. For James R. Kennedy, this is Dave Bradshaw saying good night from the rest of the world qualifiers.